Would you look who it is? Jonny Key, welcome back to the vlog. How are you doing?
I'm great.
We just got to the hotel. I'm here with
Jonny Key. I feel great. A little scared about what's gonna happen at night, but I feel good. He needs me. Let's go, Luke! Come on! Luke Talbot. What a race.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. I hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Actually, a rather cool Tuesday morning where I'm at. How was the morning for you?
It was probably like high 40s, low 50s. I had to get up early. We had team pictures, and I was like shaking while we were standing for team pictures.
Team
But,
pictures
it was
with
good.
the GOAT himself, Jonny Key. And
That's
all
funny.
the Umsel boys, shout out to, let's just say, shout out to Sebastian, to Caleb, to Emmett, and of course to the chauffeur himself, Jonny Key. Also, it looks
Yeah.
like Pookie is going to be joining us today. Come here. You can jump down.
Callie.
She's getting all cuddled up. Like, I need my little spot next to you. So here she is. She's just living life. I know. She's just adorable. Mom
She
went
is
to go
a
get
cutie pie.
groceries, so Callie's with me this morning.
Aw,
Yeah, it was a nice like
lucky.
50 degrees, I think. I think it dropped to 49 for like the middle of my workout, and I was like,
That
oh,
is perfect, dude. That's like perfection for running.
it was so nice. But we have a lot to talk about today, like personal stuff.
You do.
Not much to recap, like racing wise. I know that we actually
There's a lot.
there's there's a recap of what Yard Nagoose beating Jakob Ingebrigtsen and Cole Hawker and all
I did
them.
watch that race on the elliptical.
It was
Yeah,
actually a pretty good race, honestly. It's the 1500 meter. I've said this for a long time now. Right now, it's probably one of the most exciting races because there is just so much talent that you just don't know who's gonna win every time they all match up. I mean, it's amazing to watch. So that was super cool. But I mean, I don't know. It's like you just never know who's gonna win. But outside of that, talking about running and not running, Jonny Key, we're hoping this is gonna be like the last time we really have to talk about the unknowns of what the heck is going on. But you have been going through it recently. Every single podcast, it feels like we're talking about what's new and what's not so new. And yesterday, you finally went and saw the doctor. I haven't even heard what happened yet. I'm just as lost in the blue as you guys are. So why don't you talk to us about what's going on?
Yeah, so the one doctor I went to recommended I go see this lady before I do any type of injections or surgery or anything like that. So I saw her, and she's just like a physical therapist, and I was there for over like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Like, she was working me, but
Yeah.
she was like, she told me that if we just absolutely blast like my glutes and all my like hip muscles and stuff like that, she thinks that if I strengthen, because she's like, no offense, but you're like extremely weak. She's like, if we can strengthen all those areas around it, your hips will probably be better supported and you'll be okay to run. She was like, you give me 2 to 3 weeks, and we do the strength training every single day. And then she was like, then I'll see, because she's like, you might not even need injections. She's like,
Wow.
if you get all this strength in 2 to 3 weeks, she's like, you might not even need the injections. But she's like, if we strengthen everything around it and we maybe get injections, she's like, you'll be good to go. And then she also said to get just that IT band like inflammation in control. She said probably best not to run this week. And then she said I could do like elliptical and everything as long as it doesn't, like, as soon as it starts hurting, she just told me to hop off. So it is good news. Good news. Hopefully I'll be, able to just start training again. Because IT band's starting to go down. Hopefully my hip strength can feel a lot better to be able to support my hip. So, I mean, good news. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, so this is interesting because you have a torn labrum.
Yeah.
And we were having a problem with our IT band that you were trying to figure out what the problem was, but she didn't tell you what the problem was?
Okay, so I went to and the doctor was like, I don't think it's compensating. But she's like the running guru wizard. And she was like, I think you're just compensating. Because it would go hip, like left eye, like my right hip, left IT band, and then also my left inside shin. And so
Okay.
different parts of my body were compensating for the weaker parts. So she thinks it was just compensation. She thinks if I, strengthen both sides, I do like the same amount of reps on each side. She doesn't think it'll be a problem, especially once I kind of shut down for a little bit and let my body kind of reset. But yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. And she kind of gave me a glimmer of hope because I was like, like talking to the doctor, it kind of made it sound like after like college, like I should just be done running. She's like, well, like, she's like, you're not gonna be done running, but you just like won't be able to do a lot.
Okay.
So it did give me a little glimmer of hope.
So no marathons or anything?
I mean, I don't know. I'll get there when I get there.
You just got to do the Nathan Key training and then you'll be fine.
Dude, yeah. I mean, maybe I don't know because it's not like she put a number on it.
Yeah,
It
of
was just
course.
so. I mean, I got a little glimmer of hope for being able to do stuff in the future. But maybe I'll just have to put in my Parker Volby arc and just cross train every single day for hours.
Yeah, I mean, so what are we thinking about this season? Because like we've been kind of just saying it's chalked, it's not going to happen, there's not enough time, there's too much to do. So are you
Yeah,
thinking you're not going to do injections or surgery and you're going to do the next 2 to 3 weeks of strength and like try to start training again and go from there?
yeah. I think I'm not. I don't. Surgery is not even on my mind, to be honest. Like,
Okay.
I think it's because it's not bad enough to do that. It's just not bad enough
Yeah,
for that. If it was bad, I'd be like, okay, let's fix this. But I've also not talked to the trainers at school, so I don't know what school's going to be able to do for me. Like, I don't know if they're going to pay for my injections or whatnot, if I even get injections. But this is definitely the first step. And she was saying the injections, like, she said if they work, great. If they don't, then that kind of like X's out that like problem. Because she was like, you could have had a torn labrum for a while without knowing.
yeah,
So she's like, if we do injections and they don't work, she's like, then you have a different issue that we just don't know about yet.
that makes sense.
So
Oh,
hopefully, yeah. So I'm hoping best case scenario, I do all this strength and I'll be able to be okay, or do all the strength, get the injections, and then be okay. That's best case scenario. But I still think this season's chalked. I think there's too little time to get back into shape.
yeah, I mean, I sadly agree with you. I think that you could definitely, I think you could probably get to the point where you could probably run sub 28, maybe like 27:30 around there. Like you could probably get to that shape. But unfortunately, 27:30 is just not good enough. Like
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like it's just not enough at all. So it's like,
yeah.
even
But
like
yeah, what's the point?
with the training that you can do, I mean, it's almost I don't want to say it's almost October because it's just the start of September. We're like 10 days in, but October is inching ever closer, so it's like it's just
Yeah, I
tough.
mean, but by the time I reassess, you're right. It is like already October, so
Yeah.
I'm just not even gonna think about that. Just gonna focus on getting healthy for track season, hopefully.
I mean, I think that's not a bad mindset to have, and at the very least, you're medical redshirting, so if you want the fifth year, you have it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, and I'll have to make that decision before track season next year, because I mean it would be very beneficial if I could just redshirt my senior second semester because that's student teaching.
Yeah.
So it'd be super beneficial if I would do that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So we'll see.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, at least you're taking it positively in a sense. Like, you could be very much just beating yourself up and just not have any motivation to do anything and just, not even do the lifting and just quit. Like, there it could be so much worse. So I'm glad to see the positivity coming out of you because I think it'd be very easy to just beat yourself up and kind of let it affect you a lot more than. I mean, listen, we've talked about it and we know that you've been down some holes, but like, you've definitely
Yeah,
bounced back and are definitely, I think probably talking to that woman helped quite a bit then.
yeah, for sure. I'm definitely glad I went. I go see her again on Thursday. So it was nice because it's like she really spent her time trying to figure out everything. They closed, but she still stayed like after and helped me like finish up everything.
That's
They open
awesome.
at 5 a.m. They open at 5 a.m., bro.
That's when I would be there.
Well, it's kind of nice when you think they open at 5, you're home by 1. So
That's
it's like,
insane. Yeah, that's a good day. I mean, I'd want to run before work, but
yeah, a lot of both the people that were there or are like the main people.
mhm,
They're like both runners.
that's
Like the guy I was
awesome.
talking to, he like, he got his new watch. He's gonna go on a run after. So I think
Nice.
I'm in good hands, dude. I hope.
That's good. I'm very glad to hear that. What are you eating, by the way? Looks like ice cream, but I can't tell.
Dude, I got it was like yogurt and like granola.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I've yogurt in my fridge next to me, but I have to run in about an hour and 20 minutes, so I don't think I'm gonna have time to eat that. I want to eat something, but
no.
the problem is that it's gonna be like 77 degrees at noon, and I'm just like, I just ran in 50 degrees. I'm not trying to run 30 degrees hotter outside, so I'm going on the
Yeah.
treadmill. Like I hate the fact, I hate it. I hate it, but I'm gonna just, yeah, double on the treadmill. I have so
I
much
mean,
stuff
it's
to
just a
catch up
little
on. It's like,
fluffy, right?
yeah, easy 7:30 pace, probably 30 to 40 minutes. I mean, nothing crazy, but I have to work from 1 to 5. So like it just sucks because I have to do it at like noon. Because like I could technically try to run right after I get out of work at like 5 o'clock and be done by 5:30, 5:40. I gotta stretch,
Mm-hmm.
drive home. By the time I get home, it's gonna be 6 o'clock, and I'm just gonna be shoving food down my mouth because I don't try to eat after 6 because I go to bed at 7. So I try to
Yeah.
not eat an hour before I go to sleep. Like I always eat around like 5:20, 5:30, so then I'm done before 6. And if I were to run after work, then it'd be really cutting it close. And like I just don't want to wake up tomorrow feeling like crap and having to run like 10 miles, you know?
Yeah, I definitely
So
understand that. But
sucks, but yeah, it just means I have to do my double earlier in the day, which is fine. But right now I'm icing, so that helps a little bit because yeah, my legs feel really good today, which was really nice because I mean, you obviously knew I was down at St. Charles this weekend for a race that we'll probably talk about
yes,
in a
sir.
second here. But we raced and then we played spike ball for like 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that, like over 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then watched the game. I went home. Dude, my diet on Saturday was atrocious. I
What was
ate
it?
I ate a banana and a granola bar right when I woke up, and then I took caffeine right before the race. I finished the race, had a donut, and then went back to the hotel, had some potatoes and a waffle with syrup. Got to my sister's house. She had the DQ, the Dairy Queen ice cream cake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I ate
Mm-hmm.
so much of it too. It was bad. So I had DQ cake, ice cream cake, another donut, a peanut butter and jelly, and then a protein bar right after the tailgate. And that was all I ate for the entire day, which is terrible. After a race,
Questionable diet.
that is
Yeah, but I mean,
terrible.
it's race. You can eat whatever you want on race day. After,
Well,
after.
that's what I'm saying. But then I had to do a long run the next morning. Oh my God, I was going through it, Johnny. I texted you right when I woke up too, and I was like, I don't remember what I said, but I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I felt terrible. I got through the second mile and it was pitch black on the Katy Trail, but I was running past the factories. So like I was going
Mm.
through the spots that were pitch black and then all of a sudden the street lights would just blind me. So I was like, dude, I'm gonna get epilepsy running through this. I just kept getting flashed with light. I kid you not, I finished the second mile and I thought I was gonna pass out. I felt so bad. I was like, I'm literally gonna pass out on the Katy Trail at 5 in the morning. A homeless person's gonna find me. I'm never gonna find,
Brother.
yeah, I'm never gonna see my parents again. Like I was going through it, but I kept running. I made it. It took about 7 miles before I started to actually feel good, and then like 7 miles in, I was like, oh, this is nothing. I just kept running, hit 8 miles, took my goo, turned around, ran back, and got in 16 miles, which is all that you can
So
really
you
ask
got
for.
through it.
Yeah, got
Yeah,
through
that's
it.
all that matters.
Yeah, it just took a while to get like into it, if that makes sense. I was
Mm-hmm.
I was going through it to say the least. I mean, especially when I passed that one sign. I was like 10 miles into my run and I passed a sign and I had to turn around and take a picture to Johnny. It was
I
like
forget what was it again? Oh, lowest point
it
or
was
something like
yeah, it
that.
was low point, and there was like 2,000 elevation or whatever. I saw that 2 or 3 years ago when I was biking the Katy Trail, and I've always wanted.
Hmm.
I took a picture with it. It's actually on my Instagram. There's a picture where I'm just like, and it's like pointing to the side. Like I've never got like a good picture of it, and just like what you were going through, I had to take a picture and send it to you just because I was like Johnny yesterday playing spike ball.
For the viewers, I lost like every single game. In the 2 hour span, I lost every single game. We'd switch up teammates, and I would lose every single game. And
You
I'm not even that bad.
no, out of out of all of us, it was probably you and Seb. I mean, that were probably the best, honestly.
I don't know. We're gonna need it though. I mean, I have a good track record. I do have prize money and spike ball.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. You do have some prize money, so you're kind of like a semi-pro at Spikeball, I
Yeah,
think.
some would say semi-pro for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then J Cole. Unfortunately, the team didn't re-sign J Cole, so we're gonna.
Yeah.
I have Sebastian as my partner for next week's tournament.
I
So
don't I think it's not that the team didn't re-sign J. Cole. I think you relocated and J. Cole stayed where he was.
yeah, that's probably more factual.
Yeah, it might be a little bit more accurate.
He needs to hit me up though whenever they do it again.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, dude, I might just have to come back out. I mean, number one coach. Not only number one coach, but I didn't lose to you once.
I know, bro. Well, you're good. You're like I don't know. You and Seb complement each other really well because Seb's more of the brawler and you're more of the like a sister.
I mean, dude, I don't want to gas myself, but my sets to Seb were just perfect. Every single time I gave Seb the most perfect sets he could have asked for. And Seb just capitalized, to be fair. But
Yeah.
yeah, no,
No, they're still good games. It's not like any of the games were blowouts. You know what I mean?
me and Seb had one against Emmett and Caleb where it was 21-10 or like 21-11. I was just like, oh no. We were up like 11-1, and I was just like, this is not great. I was like, I kind of felt
Yeah.
bad.
No, me and Seb were talking. We were like, as soon as we start, we said hopefully we get the volleyball girls. We're just gonna show them no mercy.
I love that. You just need the confidence. Yeah, I think a big part
Yeah.
of it is just like once you like team together for so long, you kind of like know what the other person's gonna do. So like a lot of the times, like Seb knows that my legs were shot. Like I could barely move when we were playing. So there was times where the ball would come by me and like I just didn't have it in me to go for it, and Seb would get it for me. I was just like, thanks, Seb.
Yeah.
We just knew what the other person was going to do a little too well. But my legs obviously were dead because I raced that morning, which is, the
That's
next thing
right.
we got to talk about. So I did a 7K on Saturday. The umps,
7K.
yeah, oh my God. First of all, yeah, course was long, which how do you mismeasure an out and back? Like it's it's
I don't know.
3.5 kilometers out, 3.5 kilometers back. But yeah, it was point 0.3 long. I think the funniest part was like I told you guys that, and I was like, I don't like really care. But a guy came up to us during the awards and was like, I don't even remember like what he was saying at first, but he was just like, "Yo, did you like measure that like on your watch?" And I was just like, I knew exactly where he was going. I was like, "Yeah, it was long." He was like, "Oh, thank God." He was like pissed that I'm assuming he probably didn't run like nearly as fast as he wanted to, and he was just like,
Yeah.
I knew it was long. Like I was looking at it, it was no way it was right. I was like, yeah, no, it was point three one long. I was just like, not great.
Once again, how do you do that? Literally, how do
It's
you
an
do
out
that?
and back, bro. And I tried to run it like as short as possible. Like I was taking the inside of every turn, trying to like, cut the distance. I mean, I was running by myself, so it's not like I had to worry about anybody next to me. It's like even running it like as short as I could, it was still long. I don't know.
I just like the immediate start line. As soon as the race started, you're already like 10 meters in front of everyone, like before they even start going, and you just knew because it's like everyone's just dressed up in like a t-shirt and like basketball shorts, and you see Luke in like his try hard matching singlet and like
Stop.
his
I
and
pulled up
his,
in
his freaking vapor flies.
I pulled up in the Nike kit with Vaporflies. And I looked around and everybody was wearing the shirt that you got for the race with the bib on the
Hmm.
shirt. I'm just like, oh no. And like we had talked about it. I think we talked about it in the the
last week.
yeah, in the podcast last week, like there was not much competition last year. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
like you said, the winning girl ran like what 6:30 pace or something like that.
Yeah, which typical. Don't
Typical,
get me wrong,
for sure.
typical.
Unfortunately, this year that was not the case. I won by like 8 minutes or something like that. Like it was not, it wasn't
No.
close to put it to be put it straightly. Like, I mean, there's nothing I could have done, obviously. Like the reason why I raced that race instead of doing something like, you know, I really wanted to do, there was a 10K in Chicago that actually had cash prize, but
Mm,
the problem is that I didn't have anybody to drive with me up to Chicago and film. And like if I go by myself, it's fine. Like I can record some stuff and maybe like take the GoPro with me and try to like film with that while I'm racing. But then I'm not going to be racing nearly as competitively, which probably cuts me out for the prize money. And then if I do try to just like solely focus on that, then I have no content for filming. So it's like going out there this
mhm.
weekend gives you guys, the viewers, more content versus racing something more competitive where I'd have to do it by myself. So it's like a double-edged sword. There's always going to be
Yeah.
downsides to it. So I just
Which I mean, you got amazing drone footage from on Saturday.
my poor sister. I mean, she was sick too, so like I feel bad for her, but
Oh,
yeah, she came and she couldn't find the path. I looked at it. I watched some of the drone footage. She couldn't find the path, and then when she finally did, she like she just stopped it over the path, and I don't know if she was like trying to tried to before she started recording, but she found the path and it was just people walking. So it's like you just got to go to the front of where all those people are and look for me. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it just
that's
didn't work
okay.
out. I probably could have
She
given her.
tried.
Yeah, she definitely tried. I probably should have told her to do something differently. I should have had her like follow my mom and dad to where they saw us or where you guys saw me
Yeah.
at the halfway point or whatever, and like went from there. Because then she would have saw me like right when I passed, and then she could have went with me. But it doesn't matter. You know, I got some footage from my parents, which is all that really matters. And yeah, again, it's content at the end of the day. And obviously, going down to St. Charles, I got a lot of different stuff. Like, you know, we filmed some of the spike ball, went to the football game, obviously had my long run. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why I didn't do something more competitive was just because the opportunity to do something more competitive would have been me not having anything to film and having to go by myself versus run something more low key. And obviously, you know, I'm gonna win it. And I mean, I said this in the passion pro or in the half marathon prep episode. I ran it like a hard tempo. Like the first mile, I went out like 5:10 pace, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna try to hold this, and this is like race pace." But I had nobody to pace with, so I just ended up running like 5:20, 5:25 pace, and then it just ended up being just hard tempo. Like it, that's really all it
Yeah.
was. So it was like a
I mean,
four
even
and a half mile tempo.
yeah. I mean, we were at the finish line, and you were not like phased at all after you finished. Like,
No, I finished, and
yeah.
I look. Well, I ran past you guys at the first mile. I was like, "Where's my competition?"
Yeah, but like even coming back, bro, like you were just like
No, it was I wasn't even hurt. I think my heart rate was like 182.
140. No.
No. My heart was like 182 and like my max heart rate's like 190, 195, something like that. So like it wasn't all out by any means. Like I had a lot
Yeah.
more in the tank, which is good, but it's like at the same time, you know, I wanted it was a good rust buster, but I really wanted something a little bit more hard just so I could get prepared for the half marathon that I'm going to be doing in
Hmm.
a couple weeks here. But it's like I don't know. The half marathon, my goal is to go out at 5:20. I want to hold 5:20 pace for as long as possible. If not, go a little faster. We'll see. But
Yeah.
there's definitely going to be some good competition in that, so that should be good. I mean, assumingly there will be. Like you got to assume.
Last year, I think average paces, or I don't even know. At the front of the pack, I think average pace was maybe like 5:13 at the front of the pack. So there's definitely some really good competition in there.
As
So I
long as
think
they
it'll be
come
good.
back, yeah, which will be nice.
Yeah.
Which the nice thing about Mo Cowbell, the marathon itself is a Boston qualifier, so you know that there's going to be some
Mm.
people trying to qualify for that, which I don't even know the marathon course. Like, I don't know how it's different to the half marathon. I'm assuming you probably run the marathon courses like probably the first 13 miles are the same and then it goes like somewhere else from there. I would
Pretty
assume that's what they
much.
would do.
Last year, like the half marathon were finishing on the road while the full marathon people were still going down the trail.
I guess I could
look up the course map. But you said it was a little different this year.
well, yeah, it was different. I didn't work it last year, so I don't know if it's different from or if last year was different from the year before, but this year we're running through Newtown. So like I have to imagine it's different because Newtown's like it's new. It's not like it's
That make a lot of sense.
what? Oh yeah,
I
of
said that would make
course.
a lot of sense.
Um
Newtown.
no, yeah, okay, so I think it is the same as it was last year. You
Yeah.
wow, this is such a crazy marathon course. You run the half marathon, and then it looks like you get on the Katy Trail and take it all the way to the bridge that goes to Creve Coeur. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
So you
Nate
get
was
on the
saying that.
bridge, yeah, and then you go to, I don't think you go to Creve Coeur, but you go towards Creve Coeur, and then you turn around and come back, run back over the bridge, and then run all the way back to the start and finish. Start and finish is in the same spot, it looks like, which is
Mm,
actually so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually super, super cool. Honestly, that'll be really exciting to see. Um, but so yeah, that means that I'll have people running the marathon while I'm running the half, which is exciting just because that if depending on how the marathon goes, you got to think that there's going to be people running 5:20 pace for either the marathon or the half.
Oh, for the half for sure. Marathon, no. Marathon, the winning time last year was like 2:40.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising, honestly.
Yeah, no, the half marathon was much more competitive
I mean,
than the
that's
full.
fine with me, honestly. I mean, I'm not gonna be upset with a competitive half marathon because here's the thing when it comes to the marathon is I don't care if I don't. Well, here's a okay. I gotta be careful of how I put this. Yeah, 2:40 was the winning time last year. 2:40, and your brother took second. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did. He
2:41.
did indeed.
So what's 2:41 pace? It's not 5:20. It's 5:20.
I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no.
I think it's like
5:20 is
6.
5:20 is 2 hours 20 minutes. That's what 5:20 pace is because that's 5:20 is an hour and 10 minutes for a half. Let's just double that.
Um, I'm flipping looking this up.
I guess I could have just put it in on my.
It's like 6. I think it was like 6:11 pace.
Don't worry. I can tell you right now. It'd be an hour and 20 minutes for a half. It's 6:08.
Okay.
That would put you
I
at
can.
6:08 pace would put you at an hour or 6:06 would put you at an hour and 20 minutes for the half. So 6:06 twice would be 2 hours 40 minutes.
What's your like goal time?
An hour 10, 5:20 pace.
Hour time.
Well, I want to go under an hour 10. I wanted to go sub 110. That would be the goal. Would to go
Yeah.
sub 110. So
Yeah.
5:20
I mean
paces.
the times last year were like 68. I think that was what the leaders are coming on.
I can tell you right now, funny enough.
Yeah.
I have the can you not? Half marathon. Jared won it last year. Funny enough. He won it in 106.
That's our
106.
guy, bro. Our flipping guy.
That is the boy right there. 106, 107, 108, 108, 110.30, 110.57. So I'm thinking,
But you're gonna have some people.
well, I don't think Jared's running it this year. At least looking at his Strava, he's not because he's only been running like 15 to 20 miles a week the past few weeks.
No.
Yeah, I know.
He's probably just chilling.
Yeah, which I mean, Adam Walker, no idea who that is, but he took second last year and he's only 23, so probably 24 going into this one. Potentially could run it again. I mean, he's a young guy, older
Yeah.
than me, but young guy in general. Um, yeah, I mean, it looks like I was just looking at some of these people, like it looks like they probably would come back, and that's good for me just because I just need like one or two people, to get me through like the first 10 miles. And like the last three
Yeah.
will take care of themselves. Actually, I just need somebody to get up the freaking. Do you remember doing a big loop?
Yeah.
You know how we go
Like
down the hill and then towards like we'd
like
have to.
past Waffle House and everything.
That's
Like
normal
at
loop.
the roundabout.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's normal loop. You go down the one way to go towards Waffle House. You go down the other way to go towards the soccer
Yeah.
fields.
Yeah. Yep.
Down that way, we have to run up that. Yeah.
See, that's like somewhat tough.
Yeah,
That's
but
definitely.
it's mile 10. We have to run out that for mile 10. So it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
a little
a
bit.
little bit.
A little
But then we get
bit.
to run down we run down in Frenchtown. So we got to go down that Frenchtown hill and then go into
Okay.
Frenchtown and finish like towards Katy kind of. It's kind of
Okay.
weird, but I mean either way, it's a good course. Like don't get me wrong, I'm actually pretty happy. I drove it with my parents on Sunday actually. I don't know if I told you that, but we drove the entire thing just to see what it was. So I
Yeah.
drove all through Newtown. Newtown's beautiful, by the way. Like I cannot wait to go back in a month and get to race it just because it is so pretty. So that'll be just
Yeah.
nice to go into Newtown. The miles in Newtown will probably be like the best miles I'll run just because it's flat
Yeah.
and it's so pretty. Like I'll just get lost with looking around. So that'll be
Yeah.
nice. But
Yeah. I'm excited to watch.
yeah, are you gonna come with? Are you gonna come watch?
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Heck yeah, man. That's what I like to hear.
I mean, there last year. I'll be there this year.
That is true. Are you gonna volunteer this year or are you just watching?
Probably just watch.
I mean,
I don't know. I could like maybe like watch you at some points and then I don't know. I could watch you at one point and then maybe drive to see another point and then drive. You know what I mean?
so what my parents are gonna do, and this is like the only way that's really feasible, is to go see the start, drive to the end of Newtown where we do our turnaround at, because you go out
Yeah.
to Newtown to the very end and come back out. Go to the
Yeah.
end, see me coming down, watch me hit the turn, and then go back, and then drive to the end. Because like the way
Yeah.
it's set up, all the roads are shut down. So it's like it's going to be really hard to get like anywhere. So I mean, if you want, you can just ride with my parents. I'm sure they'd be happy to have you.
Yeah.
So you can just hang out with them, and then yeah, you get to see me 4 times, kind of, sort of. You basically get to see me 3 times, but like the Newtown Loop, you'll see me for a lot of it. You'll be able to watch like a pretty good chunk of it. So
Yeah.
I think that's what they're gonna do. And I mean, yeah, watching in Newtown is probably gonna be the coolest part, just because it's like it's just so pretty.
It's yeah. It's sick.
So, yeah, but I drove that with my parents and it was so nice. But right now, I'm just not in the position to be able to run 520 pace for 13 miles. So, like, I got to train a lot harder, which is really, you know, it's good and bad because, like, I want to get better, obviously, and I want to train harder. But at the same time, like, also, like, it's a little daunting to think I only have like 3 weeks until this race. So it's like, will I
Yeah.
have enough time to get there? I don't know.
Maybe not, but yet again, it's still gonna be a good experience.
Without
That's the
that.
first one. You know what I mean? So I
So
want to.
right
I would
now,
legit, like you said, just try to hold it as long as possible.
that's what I'm thinking. Right now, I'm actually starting double threshold training again this week. I'm doing a
Okay.
double threshold on like either Thursday or Friday. Not sure which day just yet, but I'll do it on one of those 2 days, and then next week same thing. But uh, I think I'm in a pretty good spot to just because like so like today I did 8 mile thresholds. I did like 5:47 average, and that felt actually really good. So I know that
Hmm.
like I could do 5:47 for 13 miles and not it wouldn't be all out. I could probably comfortably do 5:30 pace, I think, for a half marathon without like feeling like it would take everything out of me. I think
Yeah.
once you get under 5:30 pace is really where I'd start to be like every mile would be like one closer to hitting the wall. So it's just going to be how much can I get my threshold pace down by the time of the half marathon, and is there going to be like somebody to help me pace? Because the way I'm thinking about it is if somebody goes out 5:15 and somebody goes out 5:25, and I have to make a decision of am I going to go fast, am I going to go slow? I'm just going to go slow. I'm going to run 5:25 and go from there. Because if I go 5:15, I'm going to blow up. I genuinely think if I go 5:19 or faster, I'm going to blow up by mile 10. And I just don't want to do that. So it's like I'd rather run 5 seconds slower and finish than run 5:19 and blow up and not finish, or finish just absurdly slow, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
The only like
I get that.
the only real worry I have is that my ego is so high when it comes to road racing because since I graduated like high school, I've done quite a few road races. The worst placement I've had is third place. I've taken third twice. I've taken second once. And I think I've taken first 3 times now. So like I've always finished on the podium. And now I'm just
Your
like,
ego can't take a hit, so you need the top three.
I need a top three placement. So it's gonna be hard to just be like, just accept that I'm probably not gonna finish on the podium. Like realistically, if even if like Jared's not running it, you know, top three is probably gonna be under 110. And I
Yeah,
mean, if I run 109.59, I'm happy. Like that's a good day. So it's like,
yeah,
well, crap. So, you never know. Obviously, it could be an off year. Maybe there's not a lot of competition this year. Maybe the people don't come back this year because there wasn't, a ton of people under 110 last year. Like, you never know. But I do expect it to be pretty competitive, and that's a good thing. Like, I want it to be competitive. Like I said earlier, or I was trying to say, I'd rather it be a competitive race than me finishing top three and running 115,
yeah. I get that.
So I think when it comes to like the half marathon, I'm never gonna like kind of go into it just hoping to win. I'm gonna go into it trying to better myself and run a good time over, worrying about a podium. Like I want to race these. Like I don't want to go out and rerun unchallenged for first place for a half marathon. Like I want to go out
Yeah,
and pace with people, run fast, and feel like I'm actually accomplishing something. So I guess that's kind of my
yeah.
mindset going into it, but we'll see.
I'll have to ask. I think the guy who got second was teammates with my brother, so I'll have to ask Nate if he's planning on running the half.
Yeah,
So
definitely let me know. I'd be very,
yeah.
speaking of Nate running, so Chicago Marathon, what's the plan with that? Are you coming to stay with me or what?
I really brought it up, and he was like, "I know the only reason you're going is so you can see Luke, bro." And I was like, "Well, do
No.
you want me to stay with you or not?" Like, so still don't have an answer yet. So, and he was also mad. He was like, "Dude, you should have told me. I would have signed up for the race. Me and Luke could have ran together."
Dude,
Uh,
why
I was like,
he could still sign up right now.
"No." He's talking about like the donut one. He's like, "I told you I wanted
Oh.
an easy race to sign up for."
Oh,
He's like,
he should
I need my
have.
clout back in the office." He last year, like the whole company went. They did like the Carnal Glennon Sun Run, which is
Okay.
like a hospital, and Nate won. And so everyone would like, whenever they'd have like new employees, they'd be like, "This is Nathan. He is the Sun Run champion." And he like, bro, he ran like 16 minutes something, and like his old tags, and I think second place was like a 16-year-old kid or something like that. So, so it's funny. They're doing it again this year, but that's the weekend of the Chicago Marathon.
Uh,
So he's like, dude, you need to. He's like, when you're healthy, or if you're healthy, he's like, I'll sign you up for it, but we need to keep the Sun Run in the Key family name.
that's amazing. I love that.
So I low key, depending on what the doctor says in 3 weeks, I might actually no, I can't. He said I would forgive you. He's like, I'd rather you do the Sun Run in my name than to come and watch my Chicago Marathon.
No.
So no, I'll definitely go watch Chicago Marathon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet because he didn't really give me a flipping answer. I'll text him though.
Yeah, text him and ask him because I mean, like, even if you just stay with him, which again, up to you. I mean, I think you
Yeah.
should come stay here, have a good dinner, sleep in a bed, drive up in the morning with me. That'd be a nice little fun little car drive too. And then, we'll go watch together and we'll go see Nathan doing all of his thing. But you know, even if you do stay with him, I would still probably drive up and watch and like try to meet you somewhere and we could watch it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that might be
Yeah.
the
We'll
move.
we'll figure it out, dude.
I
I'll
got
I'll text him though after this.
yeah. So we can figure out what the plan is and then same thing with well, we have a long time till then, but same thing with Lewis. When the team goes to Lewis, we got to figure out what we're going to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely come up and watch. I don't know.
Yeah, for at least
Dep-
for
Depending on how Seb is doing.
oh,
I'll come up.
Seb. I love
Yeah,
Seb.
he's looking good though. Like he's every time I go on the elliptical, I'm just doing like an easy thing, and he's like working out all the time
I
on it.
love that. I'm glad to hear that,
So
seriously.
he ran this morning, and then he's did an elliptical workout literally like right after with me. So
Nice.
um,
That's my
he said
boy.
it's still agitating, but hopefully he'll be okay. Hopefully he'll be able to run and run unattached in 2 weeks, see where he's at. So
Fair enough. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. But if
Fingers
not,
crossed for
we
Sebi.
will pop out for Lewis. We will pop out for Lewis.
Oh hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. Yeah, you guys can both come. You guys jump on the
Yeah,
train. I'll come pick you guys up, and then we'll all drive up that next day. That'd be a good time.
I think we just drive low key. I mean,
Oh yeah, you
how
could
bad's
just
the
drive.
drive?
Yeah, it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not
So
bad. It's just I think it's definitely cheaper to just jump on the train because you don't have to pay for gas, and then you don't have to be driving as well.
I'll look into it. I'll
So
look into it right now, honestly.
because I think
Or after.
the train's 4 hours too. Like it's the exact, or it might actually be a little faster. It might only be like 3, but it's not much longer. Not much of a difference because that's what Arrow did last time he was here. So you know,
Interesting. Yeah,
but
I'll look into that.
yeah, I think that's pretty much all from us. I know I got to get ready to head out for work in a couple minutes here. So
Yeah,
you got anything else
absolutely.
that you want to talk about before we're done?
Got nothing else for him.
Well, we'll update you guys with what's going down next week. I mean, there's not much racing going on in the NCAA's, and even the races that are happening, like most of the top runners just aren't racing yet. That's a lot of teams sending out their freshmen or their, athletes that are in the top 7. So, not too much to talk about in the NCAA world, and obviously with the pros kind of all being done with their season, not much talk about with the pro scene. So it's just gonna be a nice like couple relaxed weeks from the boys until I do the half marathon and things really start to ramp up with NCAA's. So enjoy some, bless you. Enjoy some
Thank you.
relaxed podcasts from your favorite blonde duo. But yeah, with that, we'll be back next week talking about whatever and whenever wherever we get there. So see you guys next time. Take care, little things, and peace out.
Peace.